table, and commentary comes from Neil Foulds and Clive Everton.
Just an extra ball run there would have taken it perfect for the blue in the middle. He'll still play it. It wasn't actually that bad. He's got the red to fall back on, the opposite middle pocket. He used the expression when I spoke to him earlier on that he kind of going through the motions in his previous match against Neil Robertson. I don't think he meant it in the way it sometimes means that you know, he wasn't able to function. I think he's finding it quite easy to play snooker at the moment with all the match play that he's had. He's razor sharp.
Maybe automatic pilot was the phrase he was looking for.
13.
Well, he's always been somebody that thrives on playing matches, hence he plays in so many tournaments.
Sure.
The referee is Micah Kessler. Comes from Germany. She and her husband are great supporters of the game, great organisers in Germany. Ding had first chance in this frame, but Mr. Black from its spot, from point blank range.
28.
That wasn't played all that well. I'm sure he didn't mean to go into that other red on the left. And he wanted to be straighter on the pink. Yes, Ding missed two chances, didn't he? The first black was not so easy as the second. That's a good shot. That's something he's doing very well. It was a good shot to hold there. Played it with drag, and he made sure that the backspin was still on the ball when it hit the red. And not much pace either. I think his timing is good. The way he's accelerating through the ball, all the technical things seems to be, they're all coming together for Stuart. It's another well-played shot.
40.
He's starting to think about wrapping up this frame. There's still a bit of work to be done. Playing on the pink means when he pots it, 38 the difference. So another red and a fairly high-value colour, and he's over the line, barring snookers.
If he can drop on the outside red of the three, he could get on blue or pink.
47. $48. $53.
44 in front, only 43 on the table.
Yes, he could have done with another red to
53.
be certain of the frame, but that was a pretty good contribution all the same.
Just in the last season or two, we've seen more frames being won from a snooker needed position, or at any rate threatened to be won. Didn't happen so much in the Stephen Hendry era. In fact, as far as Stephen was concerned, he conceded if he needed two, invariably. Attempted the length of the table double. Ultra thin contact.
What a shot. What an amazingly good shot. And not that easy to hit, actually. Two target reds, but neither are going to be hit without a lot of thought.
Looks as if sorry, Neil. I was going to say that the cue ball appears to be too near the black to use the right hand side cushion, because that would be the obvious route.
It would, Clive. And it's almost like laying on the red as if you're trying to keep it safe, when really hitting it is all that matters here. It's unusual. Oh, that's a terrific shot. It really is, Clive.
Yeah. Great escape.
One.
So Ding takes the penultimate red. He gets 7 points and also gets the black back on its spot, which is one of the
8.
best positions for laying a snooker.
Junhui 8.
Well, the length of the table double was attempted again, and now Ding really needs to get from one end of the table to the other to get his necessary high value colour.
Yes, even the blue would be okay. It'll still mean only one snooker. And he certainly is still in this frame. He might be thinking about getting on with the next one. Goodness knows why he's playing the black here when the blue's over the middle pocket. It really made no difference as far as points were concerned, Clive.
Maybe an indication that he's not thinking clearly.
8.
Well, at least it went in, but it was much harder to pot it than it would be the blue. The brown's quite handy as well for getting a snooker behind, actually. But he keeps potting balls at the moment. I don't think he played to pot that.
Well, I said black on this pot was a good position for getting snookers, not self-inflicted ones. I wasn't thinking.
10.
I'm sure you're right, Neil. I don't think he intended to pot the yellow.
Well, once again, it's not easy to do anything here. I wonder if he could possibly get in behind the brown with the cue ball, and push this green down towards the pink and black end. Would have been a difficult snooker to hit from, or to get from there, rather. That was the sort of shot I wonder if Ding could play. Maybe the angle hadn't been there for him.
It'll be a good shot to hit this.
It won't be called a miss.
Stuart Bingham 4.
So Ding now needs 2 snookers. And that surely puts the frame beyond doubt.
Ding Bingham 3 and first frame.
Ding concedes. Bingham leads by a frame to 0.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the concluding match in Group 1 featuring Stuart Bingham and Ding Junhui. Bingham took the opening frame. This is now the second. Bingham at the table.
It's awkward where he's finished there. The corner of the table, it's digging in his ribs, and that's a very uncomfortable place to stand. Extra length on the cue might help. But he certainly was ill at ease on the shot.
So decent chance for Ding.
7.
Well, in frame one, he had a chance probably as good as this one, actually. And he hit a black very badly and missed it. Hit it on the wrong side, which probably set him back. But he should take this one, or you'd expect him to. Certainly to get to about 40 or 50 before things get even all that difficult.
Eight. Fifteen. 16.
No, surely not. Has he finished in the one place where there's not a potable red? I think that the red he's closest to might go half a pocket. And there's another one that might go up into the top right. But even then, he should have been on something easier than this. Yeah, this first red, he's just got to watch he doesn't catch the other one on the way through.
Junhui 23.
Or slightly overcut it.
Well, it was definitely not a full pocket, as you can see, so he's overcompensated. He would never miss that usually. Probably shouldn't have been there with the cue ball on the previous shot.
One.
And once again, he's very close to getting himself into prime position. He's not quite there.
Eight. 15. 16.
Another thing that goes sometimes unnoticed about Stuart Bingham, he's a pretty quick player, you know. He, when he's got the
23.
shots in front of him and there's not too much to think about, he doesn't stand there looking, he just gets on with the game. Can fly around the table and win frames in no time.
$31. 32.
You check the scores. Doesn't necessarily need the 2 reds. Oh goodness, that is a bad shot though. He'll need a lot more now.
39.
Half-ball kiss on the pink, that could have been avoided. I think he was interested in taking high-value colours with these 2 reds out in open play. So he didn't need the more awkward reds, but things have all changed. Bit of a plot twist here. This red takes him down the table towards bulk colours. That's a good recovery. Couldn't have hit it any slower to hold for the blue.
$45. $46.
Blue and 1 more red. Would see him past the post. Barring snookers.
Yes, you see from that view the right-hand red of the 2 is very much available. Oh, what a superb shot to get onto it. Unusual way of doing it.
51.
Well, Alan McManus made a comment at the start of this session saying that if Ding doesn't play well, he could get blown away here. And I know what he means, because Stuart is much more confident in the balls of the 2 of them.
59.
In the first 2 frames, Ding
60.
has failed to exploit some good chances. And if that goes on, we can only see 1 winner.
67. $69.
It's not that I've not seen him play better than this, because occasionally he can be absolutely devastating, but he just looks as if he's very assured, very much in practice. Match sharp.
$81.
And he's got the air of someone who knows he's one of the game's major players. Spent many
87.
years on the circuit as just one of the lads. Well, a terrific trick shot to finish. So, with that 94 clearance, Stuart Bingham leads Ding Junhui by 2 frames to 0.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions tournament from Coventry. It is the concluding match in Group 1. Stuart Bingham has made the best possible start against Ding Junhui. He's taken the opening 2 frames in this race to 6. Commentary from Neil Folds and Clive Everton.
Stuart Bingham polished off that second frame with the 94 clearance and a multi-cushion trick shot, potting the black. Not an accident, but
Thank you. Frame 3.
he wouldn't be able to do it every
Ding Junhui
time.
break.
I just got a tweet from someone actually who follows snooker closely, asked me why in the best of 11 why the interval is not after 5 frames, and the answer is I don't really know that actually. There's no good reason for it. is always after 4. That's why. That's the best I can come up with. I mean, I guess, Clive, it stems back to playing snooker in theatres where you have a 4 frames of snooker, and then there's the intermission and people order drinks and do all that, as you would if you're sitting in the theatre watching a play.
Well, I think that in any match longer than best of 7, you do need an interval.
Played that with a lot of right-hand check side there to avoid going into the red on the right of the table.
Didn't achieve a perfect length on that safety. And even though there wasn't a pot on, it gave Bingham a chance to play a better safety, which in fact he didn't.
Get the feeling that Ding has got to win this frame. Of course, we know how important they all are, but you feel that if he did go 3-0 down, it could be a bit of a landslide, this match. Oh, that's a good shot. That really is good cueing to play at that slow pace and drop it in. And he seems to have an angle on the next black to just disturb the reds above it.
Black spot covered.
Nine.
I did remark during the first frame that Ding's last 2 matches have been disappointing. Lost first round to Marco Fu in Guangzhou, and the previous week lost 10-1 in the International Championship final in Daqing. And he made a rather strange remark after that. He said he just couldn't concentrate.
Yeah, that was against Mark Selby, and I think Ding Junhui and Mark Selby have seen quite a lot of each other, haven't they, in the last 6 months? Played in the World Championship final, played in Shanghai, and then, of course, in that match you've just spoken about, Selby's 2-1 up.
15.
Yes, Ding beat Selby to win the Shanghai Masters.
Yeah.
Not as much life in the cue ball there as Ding expected.
21.
It's still quite hard to get your head around the fact that Ding, in reaching that World Championship final, was actually a qualifier.
Yes, he dropped out of the top 16, which was astonishing considering that a
22.
couple of seasons earlier he won no fewer than 5 world ranking titles.
27.
Badly needs to make the most of this chance and get a frame on the board.
Yes, because it's quite disheartening when you trail by a couple of frames and you know that you've been in first in both of them and not scored enough. The worry is that will be a pattern that will continue. I'm not sure, does the pink goes on its own spot there? Yeah, I was going to say.
41.
Which kind of changes things a little bit. It's easier, I think, for him to pop this and get onto a colour than had it gone onto the black spot.
42. $49. 50.
Well, he's not over the line in the frame just yet, but this is better, much better from Ding.
57. 58.
That was a good shot. Stun run through from a cushion, perfectly on the red. He's finding his range.
65. $66.
If he pots the blue, Bingham would need a snooker.
$71. 72.
Ding Junhui is experienced enough to know that there's only one way for him to win this match, having seen the first two frames, and that was just to match Stuart Bingham in the scoring department, which of course we know he can do, more so than anybody.
78.
We could be in for a really good match now that Ding is playing like this.
79. $86. 87.
And of course he dropped in an opening red into the right corner from range. It was a terrific piece of cueing.
$93.
Not the most difficult of plants.
Foul.
Well, I didn't expect that.
Bingham with 93. With Bingham 4.
But with that 93 break, Ding Junhui has at last started to play a bit. He now trails Stuart Bingham only by 2 frames to 1.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions match between Stuart Bingham and Ding Junhui. Bingham took the opening 2 frames, but Ding came back in the third. This is now the fourth.
So this is the frame that decides whether Stuart Bingham will have a 3-1 lead at the mid-session interval, or whether the interval will be taken at 2-all. Bingham can get his bridge hand on the bed of the table, so he'll be attempting this long red.
One.
Bingham has got so much easy cue power these days.
3.
He has a nice long pause at the back of his final backswing, and then he can really generate some pace if he needs it.
Four.
He's played that really well. You couldn't have put that cue ball any
9.
better with your hand than where he's finished. But you're right, there's an ease about the way he's hitting the ball. Confidence. He's been a
10.
world champion, and he's not having to do all press conferences and interviews before matches like he did during the year when he became champion. It's time for him to really enjoy what he achieved and what he can achieve from here on in, I think.
17. Eighteen.
He might play, well, he has to, I guess, play the little cannon here, but it might be quite a gentle one. Well, I have to say, I thought that was going to go in.
Stuart Bingham.
Might have
18.
just turned slightly left, ever so slightly.
I think it was always on the far jaw. Anyway, reprieve for Ding.
Eight. Nine. 16. 17.
That was nice. He knew exactly what would happen there. The red that
24.
he's on will also chance to disturb some other reds, knock a couple into play.
25.
Just over the hour mark. This match has been in progress. That's playing time. Doesn't count between frames.
Now once again purposely playing on that bottom red of the three, just a glance off the two above it.
Very often a missed black from its spot can be a frame turner at this level, because invariably the player who's missed the black would have been playing on his next red. And in this case
40.
It's left Ding right in. Oh dear, oh dear. Basic shot.
Junhui, 40.
A decent standard league player would have been disappointed to miss this.
I know, and he missed it by quite a way. And there was no obvious reason for it. He was not trying anything flashy with the cue ball. I don't think that Stuart expected to be back at the table right now. I think that jumped a bit, a slight kick. Cue ball didn't go up the table as far as he thought.
8. Nine.
Until Ding missed that simple red.
16.
The match seemed to be moving towards 2-all, but now, with all remaining balls in inviting open positions, this is a good chance for Bingham to secure a 3-1 lead.
Seventeen. 23. 24. 30.
It's very hard sometimes sitting in your chair knowing that you've made a bad mistake. And I think players sometimes get just a bit ahead of themselves. That's what Ding did, I think, on that red that he missed. It was easy. It was very easy, in fact. And of course, almost the punishment is you watch your opponent
38.
potentially clear the table, and what should have been 2-all is likely to be 3-1 the way things are going. It was a pretty glaring miss. I'm certainly was thinking ahead, maybe too far.
39.
That must be the only reason for it. Good shot to play from that last shot onto a bulk colour, because of course it's easier to get back onto the yellow. He may actually go yellow followed by the yellow again here.
Forty-one. 43. 46.
Ding's close range error is going to cost him the frame.
$50. 55. 61 frame. Stuart
Bingham mops up with 61 and leads by 3 frames to 1 at the mid-session interval.
They head for the break with Stuart Bingham in control, having taken 3 of the opening 4 frames. It is a race to 6, so there's plenty more action to come in this Group 1 match. A place in the last 4 of the Dafabet Champion of Champions at stake. Comes from Neil Folds and Clive Everton.
Well, 22 minutes since Stuart Bingham last potted a ball. Partway through on the 5th frame.
Well, it's okay, but he did hit that thicker than intended. And it turned out that it was not all that okay. Ding potting that red from longish distance.
Yet again, not good. Not that that was an easy shot to get onto a red from.
Junhui 4.
I think Stephen Hendry's right, you know. I think there are 1 or 2 signs that Stuart is a little weary. I saw him sitting in his chair a few moments ago. And understandably, I mean, I'm sure he travels, but he doesn't sit at the back of the plane, put it that way. But it doesn't make it any easier. Jet lag is jet lag.
Now, when you think that Ding has missed several very easy balls, I'm a little surprised that his pot success rate is still 92%. 110 out of 119 attempted. So at least 3 of those he missed were sitters. Well, I don't think Bingham intended to move that red off the side cushion. It offered Ding a chance.
One.
Well, a rueful smile. He's okay for brown though. But I believe he wanted to be on the blue. Unlucky.
Indeed, that was actually a good effort. I don't think he's on one.
5.
Well, we've reached a funny old point in the match now because both players have played well in patches, especially Bingham early on, but as we draw a little nearer to the end of it, the sting has kind of briefly been taken out of the match.
Junhui 5.
I think the thin contact on the yellow was intentional.
I wondered that. A good shot if you played it. It's not something I would have thought of or seen other players do. And the thin contact on this red is very difficult. These are really awkward. You've almost got to play to miss this red. Because if you catch it like that, just a fraction thick, the cue ball goes nowhere.
Chance for Ding.
Eight. Nine.
Oh, again, quite well played, and he really has to put this frame away now. Doesn't want it to linger on.
Sixteen. 23. .24.
Ding can clinch the frame without the help of the 3 reds on the black cushion.
.31. 32. 39.
Must admit, at 3-1 down, he didn't feel like Ding was about to win 3 in a row and
40.
take the lead. It was all Stuart Bingham.
But it seems that Bingham is wilting slightly,
47.
and he scored only 26 points
48.
in the last 3 frames, including this one.
Yes, he's up to 31 minutes now without potting a single ball, and that will make anyone tired, I think, out there. He's still in the match, of course.
55. Junhui 55 and the frame.
So Ding Junhui takes the lead for the first time this evening. He leads by 4 frames to 3.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the concluding match in Group 1 featuring Ding Junhui and Stuart Bingham. Bingham led after the first session, but Ding has fought his way back into this match and now holds a 1-frame advantage. This is now the 8th. Ding at the table with a break of 35.
.42.
Cut to corner is the best that's on offer here. Didn't hit it thin enough.
No, in a big moment. Long time for Stuart Bingham, 40 minutes without a potting opportunity. But he's got one now. Of course, he's a little worried. He wanted to stun the red close to the pink and be on to the black into that pocket, but the red's covered it. That was a little bit jabby. Sympathetic applause, because it's been a while. The players have recovered from sitting out for long periods and won matches.
4.
Well, he should back himself here. He knows in general he's in very good form. He's been cueing beautifully over the last few weeks and earlier today. Now just concentrate on his technique and how it's been going. Who's to say he couldn't win the frame here?
12.
In general, I think he's really confident.
.13.
Well, the cannon's not worked out very well. He's certainly on something.
20.
It may well be the middle red. I think it is. Not as planned.
$21.
But during that long period of just sitting out watching Ding accumulate so many points and win frames, he would have
28.
thought, well, I need to be patient. My chance will come. It certainly will come. And it has.
29.
And it was also very important not to lose his concentration, which is easy to do if you're just a bit tired.
No, that was not the kiss he wanted. He still got a red, but it's more difficult than he would hope.
36.
He wanted to be straighter on it as well. Well, he looked at a couple of reds here. Looks at the right-hand red, but surely it can only be the left-hand red. I'll be amazed if he plays anything else.
No,
Stuart Bingham, 36.
played it in such a way that there was always going to be half a chance of covering the red by means of the blue if he happened to miss it.
Oh, Ding may be able to get through to the red that's close here to the left side of the table. It's quite tight. Played it with just a trace of left-hand side, running side, which kind of suited him. Couldn't you believe it, Clive?
Well,
Junhui, 1.
we'd gone a fair amount of time without Ding missing a sitter, but that's, I make it his fourth of the match.
I mean, fairly regulation, black off the spot. Doing a little bit with the cue ball, but nothing he's not done about 100,000 times in his career.
Very untimely mistake. He had a chance to go 2 up with 3 to play there.
Got to be a little bit careful here though with the cue. Make sure it doesn't foul the pink or the red that he's really close to. Just a little gap in between. He can push the cue through. Well, there you see his problem. It's a very steady hand required. Mikey Kessler looking on. He's very close to that pink ball, isn't he, with his cue? Very close. Very careful to withdraw the cue as well.
Yeah, but at the cost of losing position to some extent.
8.
Well, he's right behind this red to the middle, but it's a very acute angle. Well, that underlines how difficult the shot to the middle is, actually, that camera angle. You wouldn't see much of the pocket sticking out behind that shot.
Stuart Bingham 8.
Not surprised that Bingham refused that at such a critical juncture of this match. Winner to go into Friday's semi-finals. Excellent long putt.
Very good, Clive. Probably shouldn't have been on the red. Stuart could have done a little better with that safety shot, which, you know, he opted to play. But as you say, it was altogether well played. The balls aren't just going into the back of the pocket firmly. Once again, under-hitting slightly.
8.
Not really playing shots with authority at the moment.
Straighter would have been more certain.
I think it was the shot before again, Clive, as I say.
Junhui 8.
He's not cueing all that well. He's frightened to hit the balls hard. It loses accuracy, I think.
Oh, that wasn't all that difficult, even at such a critical juncture.
This almost feels like a deciding frame, doesn't it? I mean, it's nowhere near that, but it's been as tense as one.
Bingham needs this frame to level the match at 4-all. If he loses it, he'll be 2 down with 3 to play. Only 7 the difference. No colour safe. So, in all probability, the outcome of this frame rests on this last red.
That's pretty good. He managed to avoid the double kiss, which was always a possibility there. So it is advantage Bingham. Just a few points behind, won't matter. A lot hinges on this shot. Whether he leaves the red available. Well, he was nowhere near that.
Foul. Miss.
I think he'll have an opportunity to try it again.
Stuart Bingham 4.
Yeah, the best escape here is hitting the red from the back. Not off the first cushion.
Yes, and that seems strange, isn't it, the way that he played that. I wonder if he felt that he couldn't do that, but clearly the way that he played the last shot, he can play 2 cushions. It's a very wayward shot. He's determined to play it to the left of the brown ball. He doesn't want that one back.
Or maybe the shot that we were suggesting wasn't quite on. So still the battle continues on this vital last red.
There's Clive, and you would say that whoever pots this red would win the frame. Has he gone past the middle? It'll be a very thin one if you could cut it in. I'm not sure it's on. Series of cannons and a fluke snooker.
Nicely controlled escape. Well, chance for Bingham, but awkward queuing over the pink.
Better shot than it looked, I think. As you say, Clive, awkward queuing. Like he played it with a touch of right-hand side, which can go the other way against the nap if you're not careful, depending on the pace. He really does need this frame now. I don't see any way back from him should he lose it, because signs that he's wilting a little bit, but he'll get a boost if he wins this one. Might wake him up a little. Well, he should win it from here. We have seen one or two quite easy shots missed along the way. There's a problem with the scores. He said, is there 4 in it? Well, actually, no referee or marker is allowed to tell you that. You've got to work that bit out for yourself. The score you can be told, but not the difference.
10. 14.
Because our scores are correct, but the scoreboard in the arena is kaput at the moment, for want of a better word. Anyway, a very relieved Stuart Bingham, I should think, Clive.
Yes, this frame could have gone either way, but Bingham has won it at the death and has levelled the match at 4-all, level with 3 to play.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions tournament from Coventry. It is the concluding match in Group 1. Stuart Bingham has just levelled the score by winning the 8th frame against Ding Junhui. This is now the 9th, with Ding at the table. Commentary from Neil Folds and Clive Everton.
There's no containing safety shot available to Ding here. I think, like that, there is a difficult pot.
Always a strong possibility that the cue ball was going to go into other balls. Bingham has a couple of possibilities, but neither of them are in the can't miss category. Too thick on that one.
One. Four. Five.
Now, when respotted, if able to go on its own spot, is it potable? Looks pretty clogged up in there, doesn't it, for now?
12.
Might go to the left corner.
Sure. 13.
Not a very inviting looking table. The reds are not very well spread at all. Once this one is gone, that's just to the right of where the pink is, there's not much else.
Nineteen. Twenty.
Pretty straight on the pink. Even lessens his options by more. And that's the only reason he's playing the blue. He's got no angle to play with whatsoever on the pink.
Twenty-five.
Well, not only the pot, but finishing top side of the blue this time. Opportunities here. Once again, you feel the pink is bang in the way of splitting the bunch of 5 reds open. So he's showing a keen interest in the reds on the right-hand side of the table. Possible cannon. All very delicate. I think he's on the red.
31.
A little touch of class there. Wasn't an easy shot at all to nudge the red out so softly as that. And this is the key shot the black does pot, as I was saying earlier. And this time the reds could be split. Could be a frame winner.
Well, I was expecting something better than that to come out. Very good pot to keep the break going.
And if he's fairly straight once again on the pink, and he's seeing which of the three reds, if any, will go to the left corner, it's possible something might just creep in. He's played this well. I mean, he's not always been in perfect position, but he's singled out one or two reds that are not that easy to get on. A touch of left-hand side to straighten this up, maybe.
47.
It's a very intricate little break, this, but it's priceless at this point in the match.
Bingham fearing the worst here, that Ding is on the brink of going 1 up with 2 to play.
$62.
Over the line, barring a snooker. And just managed to
70.
get the red there on the rounded part of the pocket edge, allowing gravity to take over.
$75. $76.
Very classy break, this.
Yes, and even that shot, the angle that he left himself on the black was perfect to disturb the two reds. And the next one won't be very easy. But if he does make a century, you'll see very few better this season.
84. $90. $91.
The way that Ding has made this break certainly made nonsense of some of the balls that he's missed in earlier frames.
I can think of about 3 occasions when the break seemed to be going no further, just where the balls were. He's manipulated them all and got them into play. That was
100.
absolutely world class.
107. 112.
Masterly stuff this from Ding.
118. 125.
Ding clears with 125 and goes one up with 2 to play with a 5-4 lead.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions match between Stuart Bingham and Ding Junhui. Ding is now just 1 away from a place in the last 4. We pick up the action in the 10th frame.
Excellent. And coming off his break of 125 in the last frame, that shows that his cueing
8.
is all it should be.
Nine.
Well, he's lost the cue ball there. That's a surprise. I mean, the shot he's left with is to... He was playing to pot this red and go through the bunch, but it's an awkward shot now. Under that cushion rail. Played it really well.
17.
Corrected his own mistake from the previous shot there.
Twenty-four. Twenty-five.
Well, he's got the angle if he wants to go into them, but there are reds out in the open, certainly a couple. There's quite a loose bunch of reds though. I mean, if he did go into them, he could knock them absolutely perfectly. Could be worth the gamble. That's not bad. I know that the red that he's faced with now doesn't give him an easy colour to go at, but if he can get back into position, everything's in place now to make the clearance. We'll certainly win the frame from this visit. Well, this is a difficult little shot when you're close up like this, especially if he plays it with topspin. I don't think he can do that. He's got to play on the pink here. That's okay.
31.
I'm not sure that he's been at his best tonight. He's got a little bit better, and I still don't think that he's firing on all cylinders, but
37.
you know, he's got so much class and a couple of well thought out breaks so far, right when he needed them, especially the last frame, and he's halfway there again.
plus a lot of determination. Hasn't allowed himself to be demoralised by some of the easy balls he's missed. And now he has the air of a player who's intending to
45.
clinch frame and match at this visit. Until that short range red escapes him.
45.
Again illustrating that these narrow angle, narrow entry pots have to be hit right on the button, even at close range. Wow.
Yeah.
That was Bingham's chance for a counter-attack, but ruined by a kick.
There was the first yawn, but make anyone feel tired, that last shot. Now, I'm not sure that Ding is going to give another opportunity here. He made one mistake. But it's hard to imagine another one coming, because he's only got to pot a few more balls and he's there.
8.
Bingham was very impressive up to 3-1, but after the mid-session interval he wasn't the same player.
9.
Scored only 26 points in the next 3 frames as he fell 4-3 behind. He did manage to equalise at 4-all, but Ding's 125 put him within a frame of victory,
16.
and now he's on the brink of securing his semi-final place.
The shot before wasn't so good, but that was well held for the blue. Well, 75 remaining, which of course we're down by 8 points when this red is potted, so this is potentially match ball.
23.
Well, he's shown battling qualities. As I say, the odd shot has been missed for no apparent reason. But I think we're in for a pretty good couple of days
30.
when we get to the semi-finals and the finals. The lineup was good from the start, but with Ronnie O'Sullivan
31.
having come through yesterday, Ding Junhui today, the 2 remaining groups with absolute top-notch players in it also. This is going to take some winning, this Champion of Champions for 2016.
39.
Well, if Ding can cut out the kind of unforced errors that
44.
beset him in the early frames, he's certainly a contender.
Bingham hole 44.
And after trailing Stuart Bingham 3-1, he dropped only 1 further frame. Ding wins by 6 frames to 4.